So first of all, once again, very good morning all. Thanks being joining over the session. Okay. So till now we completed the base concepts of complete about the SQL Server architectures and the storage architecture. What is the database? What are the services? And what editions, versions, how to install and recovery models, backups, restores. These are all the base core of the SQL Server. Now today onwards, from today next couple of days, we are going to spend a complete on the high availability and the disaster recovery techniques. So first of all, before we go and discuss about the log shipping, so let me brief about what is HA, what is DR. Anyone, any idea? Online people, what is high availability and what is the disaster recovery?
Not really. No idea.
Okay, see, basically, what is HA? High availability. See, high availability. HA stands for high availability. DR stands for disaster recovery. So a couple of terminology everyone make a note. Okay. So before we go and discuss what is high availability, what is disaster recovery. So we already know that our data will be stored in the data centers, right? So all our entire our project data will be residing on the data centers. Yes or no? We already shown the some couple of pictures how our data center looks like. He is separated by the racks. Each rack maintain the common power supply network and the switches. Will you agree or not?
Yes, sir.
Online people? Yes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Basically, see, in a project, if you take one project, the project is not only with a SQL Server, multiple lot of the technologies. So combination of multiple applications, technologies, okay, together comes into the one project. So all the project related data means entire your project related data will be maintained in the data centers. When you go to the data centers level, okay, so basically they will keep two different data centers. One is a primary data center, one is the DR data center, disaster recovery data center, DR site. In case if something happened to the primary data center, I can bring DR server to online. If something happened to the primary data center, I can bring DR site to online. Getting DR site to online, everyone. So here every project, almost all the projects, they will maintain two different sites. Sites are simple, okay. Two different sites. One will be primary, which is nearest to us. One is for DR. So you know about the Kerala floods, you know about the Chennai floods, right? So if something happened to the to the place where you have kept your data center, no worries. I have one more data center in the different location. Will you agree or not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is how your internal architecture they will maintain to protect our data. Now you are good at what is data center. So basically we'll maintain two different data centers. Our project used to maintain Houston is our primary data center. Dallas is my secondary data center. So all our applications are running in Houston. If something happened to Houston, we will bring Dallas to online. So immediately we'll switch the connections to the Dallas. So that is how we are maintaining maintaining high availability and disaster recovery techniques. So, okay, I can agree. Okay, what is now before we discuss that, let me discuss what is high availability, what is it, disaster recovery. Got you? What is high availability? High availability means creating a copy of the database, instance, server that can immediately take over in case of problem with the main database, instance, server with little or no downtime and no loss of data. Means you are maintaining one more copy, sir, of the database or instance or server that will take immediately with minimal downtime. Getting my point? So high availability means within the same data center. High availability means within the same data center, because if we are keeping one server here, okay, because this is, you need to make the distance as well, bandwidth. What is the distance between your primary data center, secondary data center, and what is your network bandwidth speed to transfer the data? Getting online people? So that is disaster recovery. So to maintain high availability within the same data center, we are going to keep multiple copies. That can be one, that can be two, that can be three, as each feature will support how many copies you can place. High availability means within the same data center, you are going to maintain copies of the database or instance or server. Instance and server both are same only. Okay, so that will take immediately in case something happen to. Sir, if I am not making any copy, what will happen? Assume my database is 1.5 TB. Your database is corrupted, or your database is SQL is down, and you are not able to bring the SQL to online. Database is corrupted. Uh, what you will do? Server is down, or something happened. So to bring 1.5 TB, how much time you will take? Online people?
It will take more time.
Yeah. To reduce the RTO, recovery time objective. If something goes wrong, how soon you can bring my application to online? That is RTO, sir. Based on your RTO, you are going to configure the high availability. You are going to configure the high availability. We already discussed what is RPO, recovery point objective. If something happened to your database, how much data you can bring, how much data you can bring when something happened. So that is RPO, recovery point objective. To fulfill recovery point objective, we are going to configure the backups. To fulfill RTO, recovery time objective, you are going to configure high availability and disaster recovery techniques. If something happened to my database, how soon you can bring my database to online? Getting? Not getting?
Yes, Abhi.
Yeah. Okay, that is the first thing, sir. So high availability means within the same data center, you are going to maintain the multiple copies, because speed, sir, network bandwidth is will be good, right? Within the same data center, your data transfer will also good, performance also good. Yes or no, online people? Now, assume why again the next innovation is, okay, if I'm maintaining only one data center, if something happened to my data center, entire my data center is down. Now what will happen to my applications? All applications will down, right? Yes
Yes.
or no?
Yes.
I can give you one example. I was working in afternoon shift actually. Uh, over the weekend, weekdays only, not weekends, because weekends we have only one engineer who is working. Suddenly we are receiving multiple uh, sorry, multiple pings from the application team and multiple incidents. We are not able to understand what is happening. So why we are receiving multiple pings and multiple incidents? Then when we are trying to connect, we are not able to connect to the any of the server. Then when we ping to the Windows team, they inform that there is outage in Houston servers. A complete network is down. Network is completely down on the Houston. Now we need to switch back all the connections to DR sites. So that level will be happen for everyone, sir. If something happened to enter your data center, means enter your data center is not collapsing, but either network is down or servers are down or our storage is down. Something happened, sir, on primary data center. Means not entire your data center. Okay, our network, our switch, something happened. Now application seems start complaining on us. Hey, I am not able to access my applications. Hey, can you please help me? So in that cases, so you can configure one more server, a couple of servers in the DR sites, disaster recovery sites. Okay, see, disaster recovery. DR is the process intended to take over in the event of disaster at the data center level. Getting my point,
Yes, sir.
online people? So if something happened to your entire data center, oh no worries, we have one more copy. Maybe there may be some data loss, okay, and maybe there may be some performance, but yeah. So to recover 1.5 TB, at least we may take around 2 to 3 hours. Assume, but if I am having DR server, okay, I can recover my data in within a fraction of minutes, not in a seconds. Okay, that level redundancy we can provide to the application team. No worries, we have one more data center where we can copy. If someone is asking, hey, okay, you are right, I am going to keep the copies in one data center. Assume if two copies is down in the data center, so how you can protect? What is I have one more data center where I can keep one more copy in the disaster recovery site. Getting? Not getting, sir?
Yeah, getting.
Yes, Subbu.
That is the one reason, sir. DR is a process of intent to take over the event of the disaster at the data center level. So for any reason, if the data center fails to operate due to any of the reason like natural or the human made mistake, then immediately switch the business should be happen to the other planet data center. That is the DR. So what are the drawbacks? What are the best practices? We are going to discuss one by one, so no worries. Just try to understand a terminology. What is high availability? What is disaster recovery? So any questions on the slides?
Uh, can you give me what is the general RPO and RTO for understanding?
Uh, Based on your application, sir, assume RTO is okay. Uh, Assume okay, I can accept 1 hour downtime if something happen. Okay, 1 hour I can acceptable. Within 1 hour, you need to bring my application to online. If you are not bringing within 1 hour, you need to start pay the penalty. RTO, how soon you can bring your application to online. I am providing 1 hour downtime. I can agree up to 1 hour. Getting my point, Vardhan?
Yes.
Yeah. So when you go for data loss, 30 minutes. So 30 minutes data loss I can acceptable. Okay. Beyond 30 minutes data loss, then you need to start the pay the penalty to us. So in that cases, you can go for the backups for every 15 minutes. So if 1 hour data loss means mostly we'll configure the high availability and disaster recovery techniques. Because how critical your application. See, so when you go to the real world, we have multiple environments, multiple applications, right? How criticality your application is. So budget is also very important, sir. Here means every application we are going to configure high availability and disaster recovery. No, 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 no. Depends on your application criticality. Depends on your data. What kind of data you are storing. That will differs. In one project, you are maintaining multiple applications, sir. I am maintaining around 300 to 400 applications we maintained. Each applications around minimum three environments: production, development, and test servers. So all the productions, most of the production servers will be in high availability, not development and test. So there will be standalone only. So cost also very important, right? So you wanted to maintain multiple copies means you need to maintain multiple same level of servers. Assume I am maintaining 3 servers. So budget, will you agree or not? Whether your
No.
business is that much you are earning means definitely I can put agree, not agree.
Yeah, yeah. So approximately we can mention 1 hour RTO and 30 minutes RTO.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Not approximately, mostly. It depends on your application,
Yes.
Vardhan.
Yeah.
Mostly
Yeah.
that is uh, one thing. Even when you go to any new project and you are asking such things, any one of your colleague also they tell, oh, Atiba, we don't know. We are getting a request, we are configuring. But there will be RTO, RPO, why you are configuring high availabilities, how you are configuring backups. Make a note, everyone, sir. RPO backups, RTO high availability, then disaster recovery. Okay, hope you understood.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah,
Because suppose I'm not working anywhere for understanding purpose. So in industry, how it will be? Just
same,
that's for
same only.
okay. Fine.
So that's why see before we directly jump into log shaping, you need to understood the core concepts. So why high availability came into the picture? Assume you are maintaining a standalone. Take your laptop, sir, personal laptop. If something happened to your personal laptop, gone, right? Will you agree or not?
Yeah.
Okay, either your OS is crashed or your internal hard disk was corrupted. Your internal hard disk is 1.1 terabyte, and you have a lot of stuff on that. And what you will do, you will take that hard disk to the somewhere where they can recover. But even sometimes, most of sometimes see, uh, uh, I personally not face that kind of issue, but somehow came to know or the friends, like there is a database around terabytes only, and the bandwidth is not good. So what they will do, right? They will back up to the disk, and they used to transfer the disk externally, means from their location to the different data center, and they will attach the disk hard disk and they will manually copy it. that they will also do that kind of activities, sir. Depends on your network.
Yeah,
When I
got
work
it.
when I
Yeah.
work with one of the customer in Uttarakhand, I believe Uttarakhand, not North India only. Network is too worst, too worst. They are supporting for Airtel, Vodafone customers, and I suggested your network bandwidth is not good. Okay, better. So these are the best practices you need to follow when you are configuring high availability and disaster recovery. What are that? We'll discuss in one by one. Okay. Yep. So hope you understood what is high availability and disaster recovery, sir. Everyone.
Yeah, Subbu, got it.
Yeah.
Yes, Subbu.
Now, little bit about more, sir. What is again same concepts only, but something like a technical wise. So see, basically, high availability means service availability. High means high availability, sir. Always our services need to be available. Forget about this. Left side will come up. Okay, let me discuss first this image. Okay, disaster recovery is service continuity. Okay, if something happened to the data center level, the services are keep on running. Okay, most likely automatic. High availability means if something happened to my database or something happened to instance, automatically I can do the failover. So you no need to manual interruption, sir. Automatically it will do the failovers. Okay, if something happened, so this is the two servers. Okay, so if something happened to the server, automatically the server will come to online in high availability. But when you go for disaster recovery, manual. Can we make it as automatic? Yes, we can, but you may see the performance issues. So we never suggest, it is not a best practice to go for automatic in the DR servers. It should be in a manual because the maybe performance. You need to see the performance, sir. When you go to the infrastructure level, mostly high availability means single location, sir. Disaster recovery means two locations. That is what I told you, right? One location will be primary data center, one more location will be DR servers, disaster recovery data centers. Two locations. Okay. Here, high availability intention is retain the services. Means if something happened to here, we can retain the services. But if something happened to entire data center, retain the data. At least we have the one copy in my DR server. We have one copy in the DR server. Like same whatever we explained, right? So services availability, automatic failover, manual failover, single locations, two locations, retaining the services, retaining the data. Okay, a brief about some more knowledge purpose, sir. Now, here one very important is, so how you are maintaining the copies. So how you are going to maintain the copies. Okay, cold standby, warm standby, hot standby. So what do you mean by the cold standby, sir? Cold standby is nothing but manual process. Nothing. Whenever you require, you are taking the backup and you are restoring. Cold standby is nothing but manual process required, sir. Nothing. A backup and restore. That is not a best high availability or best DR technique. Okay. So cold standby is nothing but manual process. So when you go for warm standby, so data copying automatically. your data is going to copying automatically. If something happen, okay, so there may be no data loss. If something happen, you can do the failover, but that is a manual failover is required here. So manual failover, potentially data loss. Okay, there may be data loss because it's a manual failure, it is not automatic failover. When you go for warm standby, don't get confused, sir. Okay, just additional stuff I'm providing. We never no one will ask you what is cold, what is warm, what is hot. Okay, but try to understand, cold is nothing but a manual process, completely using backup and restore will follow. Okay, when you go for warm standby, data copy, okay, ready to use, it is copying ready to use, but potentially data loss maybe because manual failure, it is not automatic failover. So one method is transactional log shipping and database mirroring. These two are the warm standby, sir. But database mirroring is warm standby, database mirroring is hot standby. Are you able to see, sir? So when you configure database mirroring in asynchronous mode, it is a warm standby because it won't support automatic failover. When you configure database mirroring in synchronous mode, it will be hot standby, means automatic failover. Just simple, sir. Automatic failover or manual failover. Your data is ready or not. If something happened here, how much time you are taking to do the failover? Okay. So in transaction log shipping, minimum you may take like 5 to 10 minutes. So, but when you go for database mirroring, fraction of seconds, you can bring your database to online. Your database to online when you go for database mirroring. So high always on. I miss somehow. Okay, always on is the advanced level of all the high availability and disaster recovery whatever we used till SQL Server 2012. It is the latest version, sir. Always on availability group. Advanced level of all the high availability and disaster recovery techniques. Okay, after SQL Server 2012 is the best hot standby where you are going to maintain multiple redundancy copies. Okay, which will support automatic failover, manual failover, where you are going to maintain the database redundancy, instance level redundancy. Both you are going to maintain, sir. Failover cluster is nothing but Windows level, means Windows level redundancy, means server level redundancy, instance level redundancy. Database mirroring is level is a DB level redundancy. Log shipping is a DB level redundancy. Failover cluster is a instance level redundancy. Always on availability group is a instance level and the DB level redundancy, where you are going to maintain multiple copies. Nothing. Okay. Redundancy is nothing but you are maintaining one more copy in the same data center in the different racks. Getting? Not getting, sir? Online people. Okay. Now, what is RTO? What is RPO? Again, I'm just briefing, sir. This is very important concept. Okay, recovery point objective, recovery time objective are the two most important parameters of a disaster recovery and data protection plan. Disaster recovery and data protection plan. So these two are the okay. This objective when you guide the enterprise to choose an optional data backup plan. Like what is RPO, recovery point objective, means describes a point in the time that data can be restored. At what point, up to what point you can recover the data. If something happened, if something happened to my database, up to what point you can recover. That's what I explained you, right? If you configure backups for every 1 hour, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., okay, so at 9:59 your database got corrupted. Up to what point you can recover your data? So that is nothing but your RPO, sir. For the instance, if there is a data corruption or data loss or unavailability, at what point in time you can valid the copy of the data to be restored from RPO, uh, from from the backups, sir. Nothing but backups. So to make fulfill of the RPO, we used to configure the backups. That is for minutely, hoursly, daily, weekly. Got you, sir? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Now, what is RTO? Recovery time objective. This is something interesting. Okay. Again, this I will come up with always on availability group latency. I may ask you questions on that in that day. Okay. What is RTO? Then that time also you can easily understandable. Okay, is the amount of time with your data hardware is decided to the restore after the corruption or the hardware failure. Means very simple, sir. If something happened to my database or hardware or server or something, sir, how much time you are going to take to come my application to online? Not only that is one understanding, sir. See, the time taken to make the secondary replica as a primary. For easily your understanding, sir, assume this is my primary, this is my secondary, and this is my standalone server, sir. Till now whatever we done is standalone. Yes or no? Will you agree or not? Standalone. Okay, my database size is 1.5 TB. Assume my database is corrupted. So how much time you are going to take the to bring again my database to online? That is RPO. Okay, that is we already understand. But now this is my primary instance, this is my secondary instance, which is I am maintaining the copy. Okay, if primary goes down, how much time it is taking to switch the secondary to primary? That is also RPO. Getting my point? Online people, will you agree or not? Sir, I just
Okay.
configured secondary replica. Okay, my work is done. My work is done. I configured secondary replica. Okay, my work is done. Okay, now, if something happen over is, I have the secondary. But when you do the failover, it is taking 1 hour to do the failover. Will you agree, sir?
Yes.
Online people? So that is also the time taken to make the secondary replica as primary. That is also RPO, sir. The time taken to failover between the nodes means if something happened this node, how much time it is doing the failover time to failover, sir. All this also you need to consider. Okay, so because that is the main sorry, concern in your application, right? How soon you can bring my application to online if something goes wrong? Not only saying that okay, this DB is down, okay, we can bring within some time, but when you are doing the failover, when you are switching the connections, okay, so when failure is activated from one of the secondary database bases to the one of the secondary databases, all other databases are automatically linked to the new primary. So these three maybe you may confuse now. Okay, so when we are discussing latency, always on latency, I will again come up with the same concept with the same examples, sir. Okay, because to understand more easily, I just added these 3 points in bit early. Okay, I don't want tell simply okay how much time you are taking. So these will see. Assume I'm having 5 databases. One, two, three, four, 5 databases. Something happened to this database and it initiated the failover. So it will initiate all the databases failover at one shot. If something happened to any one of these databases, it will initiate all the databases to failover. No, okay, actually issue with this database, but about this databases also you need to consider, right? How much time this database is taking to do the failover? Yes or no? Not only this particular database, sir. These databases also do the failover when you go for always on availability. That's what. Don't get confused, okay? So whoever is the first time listening, just wait for always on availability group. Okay, we'll discuss lot this concept, sir. If something happen, okay, to any one of this database, together it will do the failover when you go for always on. So we are mainly focusing on this database. So you need to also focus about these databases. How much time it is taking to switch these databases from primary to secondary, secondary to primary. Got you? Online people?
Yes.
Yes. So that is RPO, RTO, high availability, disaster recovery. Okay. Now let me give you, sir, overview. Okay. Okay, sir, you were telling that you we are having high availability, we are having disaster recovery. Okay. So how you will fulfill the high availability, sorry, high availability and disaster recovery? So what are the techniques we are having in SQL Server to fulfill high availability and disaster recovery, sir? What are the techniques? Online people? Log shipping. Okay. So log shipping is the one technique. Database mirroring. Mirroring. Database mirroring is the one more technique. Next, Windows failure clusters as a one more technique. Okay. Groups. So these are the four techniques we have to maintain the high availability and disaster recovery techniques. To satisfy high availability, to satisfy disaster recovery. So these are the four techniques we are following, sir. A replication is not a high availability. Replication is not a disaster recovery. Replication, very very interesting, very very toughest concept in SQL Server is replication. Tough, very tough, sir. Okay, but it is not a high availability. It is not a disaster recovery. So everyone will tell us, okay, we have 5 types of high availability and disaster recovery. No, replication is not a high availability. It's not a disaster recovery. It's just a feature on the SQL Server. Got you, online people? Now, sir, okay, we are having high availability disaster recovery. So, which feature will suits for high availability? Which feature will suits for disaster recovery? Having question mark, right? Online people?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Lock shipping is a best DR technique. It is not a high availability technique, sir, because it won't support automatic failover. Because manual failover. It's a manual failover. It won't support automatic failover. So it is a best DR technique where you can maintain multiple copies. It is not a high availability technique, sir. Okay, it's not a high availability technique, and it is the oldest feature. Okay, so Microsoft came up with a concept called lock shipping and database mirroring. Okay, Windows failure cluster. So okay, lock shipping is a best DR technique. Okay, that is a one point. Database mirroring, best high availability technique. Automatic failover. It's the best high availability, and it's a DB level, sir. Maintenance DB level, database level, sir. These are all database levels. Database levels. Okay, where you are going to maintain the DB level redundancy means in one instance I am having 100 databases. So if you wanted to configure lock shipping, so 100 times you need to every database you need to configure lock shipping. Every database you need to configure lock shipping. It's a DB level redundancy. So database mirroring also DB level redundancy, but it is a best high availability. Okay, we never choose for the DR. It's also DR, but mostly we never choose for DR. So it's the best high availability technique Microsoft came up when compared with log shipping. Windows failover cluster. It is HA and DR. It's the best high availability and disaster recovery. Supports automatic failover. Supports automatic failover. Automatic failover. And it is a instance level redundancy. Instance level, not a DB level, sir. Entire instance. If something happened to your SQL, enter your SQL services will move to the different server. Enter your SQL services will data will all it will move to the secondary server, sir. Okay, instance level redundancy. Always on is also best high availability and disaster recovery. It supports instance level and DB level as well. Instance and DB level. Okay, clear? Not clear, sir? Everyone? So understandable, everyone easy? Online people?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Okay. Then what about the replication, sir? Replication is like a uh, what I mean to say best load balancer. Load balancer, sir, means so to reduce see load. What is that load balancer terms means? So mostly we'll perform read write operations. Will you agree or not? Okay. So first let me we'll discuss a lot on that concept. Object level. It's object level, sir. You are replicating objects along with the data, not entire database, sir. Entire database you are not maintaining. So when you go for replication, it's object level redundancy. It is a object level redundancy where you can create centralized server, where you can create the centralized server, and you can start monitoring from the centralized server. Like, like for example, take the DMart, so which is headquarters in Mumbai. So DMart having multiple across the India. We are having the DMart stores. So take Hyderabad, Bangalore, okay, Chennai, Delhi, Kolkata, different locations we have. Again, when you go for Chennai, when you go for Delhi, when you go for Bangalore, when you go for Kolkata, when you go for Hyderabad, again we have different locations. Now this is the centralized server for this region, and this is the centralized server for entire DMart. So these kind of centralized server you can configure with the help of replication, and also replication will supports, okay, different database management system means, so this can be Oracle, this can be SQL, this can be Oracle, this can be SQL. So that is also one of the advantage in replication. Means from Oracle to SQL, SQL to Oracle, you can start replicating the data and database objects. Data and database objects, okay, using the replication. We'll discuss a lot, sir. So we are going to spend around complete 3 days sessions with the replication. Max, I can give you uh, the data so that you can be strong some replication, because one of the trickiest concept in SQL is replication. Okay, hope you understood, everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, so now we are going to discuss the first technique of the SQL. Okay, when you go for high availability and disaster recoveries, log shipping, sir. Log shipping. Log shipping. Try to make a note, sir. Log shipping. Then you can understand easily. Very simple. Sorry, configuration, and a very simple concept. It's not much more challenge. Okay, when you go for log shipping or when you go for mirroring or all the, sir. Very easy only. Not make more complex. Okay. So, what is log shipping means? Log shipping is a basic level of SQL Server high availability and disaster recovery topology or technology that is part of the SQL Server. Okay, that is also being we are using. So when you go for, let me ask Microsoft log shipping in SQL Server history. Not history means it will tell us, okay. Yeah, yeah. See, SQL Server log shipping allows you automatically send the transaction log backups from primary database on the primary server instance to one or more secondary databases on the secondary instance. अरे यार, okay, secondary instance. That is the only that is only one thing you need to make a note, sir. Okay, so log shipping is nothing but shipping the transaction logs, shipping the transaction log backups from primary to n number of secondary servers. That's it. In a simple one line answer, what is log shipping means? Shipping the transaction log backups. You already know the transaction log backups, right? So what is the transaction log backup, sir? It will take entire log file backup, right, sir? Agree or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right. So what is the transaction log means? So you no need to take the manual backup. So what Microsoft is doing? Microsoft is going to take the manual. Microsoft is going to take the log backup, okay, from primary instance, and it will automatically copy to the secondary instance, and it will automatically restore in the secondary instance. All this will be taken care by the Microsoft. All this will be taken care by the Microsoft. So shipping the transaction log backups from primary to n number of secondary servers. That is what the log shipping is. For your for simple understanding, sir. Now let me discuss something more. Okay, here also I mentioned same. It is an automated backups and restore process that allows to create the another copy of your database for failover. What is doing? It is automatic processor. It is going to take the backups. It is going to copy. It is going to restore. Okay, so here assume this is my, sir. So this is my one instance. On that instance, I am having one database. This is one more instance. Here also I'm having the same database, sir. Okay, assume I so I am going to take the log backups. I will copy to the secondary and I will restore it. So continuous, this process is continuous processor, automatically taking the backups and copying, restoring, taking the backups, copying and restoring. It's automated. So you no need to worry. So automatically backups is going to take, automatically it will copy, automatically it will restore. Getting all them people? Are you there?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Till now you have taken the manual log backups, right? So whenever you want, you are going to take the. You can make log backups automatic as well, but when you configure log shipping on specific database, what exactly is happening on the backend means? So backend it is working through backups. What backup? Log backup only. When you configure log shipping on specific database, it will backend processes it transferring the transaction log backups from primary to n number of secondaries. Online people are there.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, log shipping involves the copying the database backup and subsequent transaction log backups from primary, that is nothing but your source server, okay, and restore that database and the transaction log backups on the one or more secondaries. Either your secondary can be in standby mode or it can be in restoring mode. Means your secondary can be in restoring mode or your secondary can be in standby mode. Okay, so your target can be, means your destination can be either your database in the restoring mode or your database can be standby mode. But sir, can I make secondaries online? No, only one database will be online in all the high availability techniques. Remaining databases will be either in the restoring mode or in the standby mode. Okay. Okay, sir. These two databases can I make online? No. At a time.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Either any one of the database. The terminology is very important, sir. Again, in log shipping, you are calling it as a primary, secondary, and there will be one more server that is nothing but monitor server. Monitor server, sir. Okay, we'll discuss. No worries, we'll discuss that in a while. Okay. Yeah. See. So minimum. So when you go here, okay. Let me open this picture for better understanding, sir. Please let me know once you are. Yeah. Everyone able to see?
Yes,
If
sir.
you understood this picture, well and good, sir. Okay. So this is the complete about your log shipping. So assume this is my primary database. This is my secondary database. Okay. So this is my primary database. This is my secondary database. So basically, if I wanted to configure log shipping, the most important is what are the prerequisites. What are the prerequisites you need to take in care if you wanted to configure log shipping? Your SQL Server version should be 2005 and above version, above all the SQL Server versions till 2019, sir. You need to maintain minimum two instance, sir. Okay, maximum n means you can maintain n number of secondaries. You can maintain n number of secondary instance here. Instance, okay, how many instance you are maintaining? How many instances are going to participate in log shipping? How many instances are going to participate in DB mirroring? How many instances are going to participate in clusters? How many instances are going to participate in always on availability group? Very important, sir. For all this, minimum two. Minimum two. Getting my point? Online people? So your
Yes, sir.
SQL Server version will be 2005 on later version. Okay, later version. And so and so you required minimum two databases, two instance. Okay, two databases means one is on primary, one is on secondary, means only one database, sir. Okay, only one database, you are gaining multiple copies, right? So that we are calling as a two databases. One is in primary, one is in secondary. So because log shipping is a database level redundancy, right? So how many database you are going to configure, that is as your wish, sir. That is up to your wish. How many database you are going to configure? Getting? Not getting? Online people?
Yeah, getting it.
Okay. So
Subbu,
yes,
primary DB to secondary DB, how many secondary DBs I can have it
n
for one? I mean to say,
n
a number
n.
of a number of DBs.
Yeah, log shipping supports n. Log
Okay,
shipping supports n, sir. But mostly hardly will configure two, three, four, five. Rare case, rare case, sir. Okay, four, max four you can see in real world any environment. Maximum four copies. Sir, budgets are very important. Budget, right? Okay, online people,
thanks.
are you there? You were asking something.
No, Subbu, it's done. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Now see, sir, if we wanted to configure log shipping, Okay, you require minimum 2 instances, minimum 2 databases. One is in primary, one is in secondary. Okay, you need to create 2 folders are here. Okay, 2 folders. One is a backup folder, one is a copy folder. Minimum 2 folders. Okay, minimum 2 folders, maximum not folders. Mainly, mostly either we can use one folder or you can go for separate folders, sir. You can use only one folder or 2 folder. That is up to your point. Okay, so one is for backup. As a generic term I'm explaining, one is for backup folder, one is for copy folder. So whatever the it is backupping the transaction log, you will keep in the separate folder. Okay, always your backup folder should be network folder. Make a note, sir. So minimum you required 2 folders. And what is the 2 folders? One is for backup, one is for copy. Mostly backup folder will be on primary, copy folder on secondary. Copy folder will create on secondary. So always you make sure that backup folder should be part of network folder. Okay, always your backup folder should be network folder, because this instance is part of different servers, sir. This instance is part of different server. So from different server, if you wanted to access this folder, that should be network folder, sir. Direct normal regular folder you cannot access. So always your backup folder should be network folder. Always your backup folder should be network folder. So minimum 2 instance, 2 databases, 2 folders, and backup folder should be network folder. Second point clear, sir? Online people?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, and whatever the service account you are using, so you need to grant the right permission, read and write permission to the folders. Sorry. So you need to grant the required permission to the service account, sir. Means, so always what I mean is always your SQL need to run with the service accounts, right? Always you need to grant the right permissions to the desired folders. So whatever the folders you configure, right? So all the folders, make sure that you granted the right permission to take the backup of this folder, to copy the backup file to this folder. You need to grant the read write permissions, or you can grant the full control, or you can grant the full control to the service account, sir. You are not granting to any personal account. You are granting permission to the service account, to the backup folder and the copy folder. Okay, clear? One more point. So create the 2 folders, create one network folder, one regular folder, and grant the full control to the backup folder. Okay, that is a make a note. And also your log shipping supports full and bulk log recovery model. Always please make sure that your log shipping should be, your databases should be either in full recovery model or in bulk log recovery model. Your log shipping should be, database should be either in full recovery model or in bulk log recovery model. Getting?
Subbu, I have small doubt. Hello.
Yes, yes,
Yeah. Subbu, right now, if you see, we are taking the transactional backups. Am I right? At the same
yes,
time, have a database maintenance, any project or any database, we have a database maintenance where we will take transactional log backups also.
No,
Am I
we
right?
won't configure transaction log backups on the log shipping servers.
If we get any requirement like that, whether we need to go ahead
Never,
or
never.
sorry?
No, you need to educate to application team, right? Already we are configuring log backups and it is taking transaction logs. If I again manually, I will, if again I will create the maintenance plan, LSN will mismatch, log shipping will fails.
Okay. I thought that in the log shipping it will do as a T-log copy backup. So my assumption is wrong. Am I right?
The copy only is something different, sir. Don't bring
No,
again copy only here.
yeah, I thought that internally this log shipping will take transactional log backups as T-log copy only backup. I thought like
No,
that.
no, no, no. It's no, no, no. It's regular tree log backup. No, it's not copy only backup.
Okay.
Make sure that always your database either in full recovery model or bulk log recovery model. Getting, sir? And also you need to perform initial synchronization. Means, sir, currently I'm having the database here. So currently I don't have any database in secondary. So you need to perform initial synchronization. Technically we are calling it as a initial synchronization. So in all high availability techniques, make sure that you need to follow initial synchronization process. Take the full backup, take the transaction log backups on primary, and you need to restore on the secondary instance. When you are restoring on secondary instance, log shipping will support two modes: restoring mode, standby mode. On secondary, log shipping will support two modes, sir: restoring mode, standby mode. So you need to perform the initial synchronization. And what are the best practices? Maintain the same hardware, maintain the same software, maintain the same version, maintain the same edition, maintain the same database name, maintain the same collections, maintain same, sir. Everything should be same. Disk capacity, disk planning, everything always you should maintain the same. You should maintain the same. Clear? Not clear, sir?
Yeah. So initial synchronization means it is nothing but restoring the backups, right?
Exactly, sir. You need to take manually first. So first, before I configure log shipping, I need to perform initial synchronization because primary I'm having the database, but on secondary instance I don't have any database. To make initial synchronization, take the full backup, log backup. Manually you need to copy and restore it. Later, on top of that, you can configure the log shipping, and then onwards, your synchronization will taken care by your log shipping.
Uh, just one more question. Could you let me know how it supports a faster migration? Because once we discussed for a larger database migration, for migration, log shipping is the best.
Best, yes, best. Log
So
shipping
it
is
is
the best
nothing but
because,
restoring the backups, right?
yes, sir.
Okay, then directly we can go for restoring the backups if you have backups instead of creating log shipping and
Manual.
bring all these things. Yeah, manually we can do it, right?
Then why automation, sir?
No, no, no. For migration, once we discussed log
Migration.
shipping is
Yeah, okay. I can agree with you, sir. Assume, okay, every 15 minutes you are taking backup, log backup. Every 15 minutes you used to restore on the secondary on the migration. Assume, sir, why you are preferring log shipping
okay.
for huge databases means, okay, so
Oh,
this database is my 1.5 TB. Usually, how much time it will take to migrate 1.5 TB, sir? At least you need to take 3 to 4 hours. Yes or no? Because you need to back up, you need to copy, you need to restore. Will you agree or not?
okay, okay, got it.
Okay.
So with backups and restores, we can uh, restore, but we cannot synchronize the data.
Data synchronizing.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes, correct, correct. Yeah, fine.
Any questions, sir? What are the major prerequisites? Sir, very, very important. Again, I'm telling. So, all the SQL Server versions should be 2005 and higher. Okay, maintain the same hardware, same software, same DB name, same collations. Everything you need to maintain the same, sir. That is a make a note. And always your database should be in full and bulk log recovery model. It should not be in simple recovery model. You should create two folders. One is a backup folder, one is a copy folder. Always your backup folder should be network folder, because so secondary server need to access this folder, right? So it's, if it is a regular folder, it cannot access, sir. If it is a network folder, yes, it can access. I will show you how to create the network folders all, and you need to grant the full control to the service account. For initial synchronization, you need to take the full backup and log backup, and you need to restore. When you are restoring, it supports restoring mode, standby mode. It supports restoring mode and standby mode, sir. Okay, not okay?
Yes.
Yeah, here also same thing, sir. And make sure that service SQL Server agent should be in running state. Okay, if SQL agent will be stopped, complete your log shipping will fail, sir, because completely your log shipping is rely on the agents, automation, right? Okay, so make sure that your SQL agent is also running properly and you configure properly. Okay, not okay, sir. And also let me show you one more point, sir, here. And the terminology is very important. Okay, primary server, primary database, secondary server, secondary database, sir. Very simple, sir. Primary server is, sir, in here, okay, in our practice, what we are going to do, right? So in one instance you are going to configure log shipping, mirroring, replication in the same instance, and you are practicing, sir. But in real world, so log shipping in be separate servers, mirroring will be in separate servers, replications will be in separate server. So where we are going to maintain different servers, sir. So don't think that okay, we will keep all in the same server. No, 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 no. Log shipping will be separated, mirroring will be separate. Okay, application is separate, always and separate. Everything will be separated. Okay. So primary means where your log shipping starts, is the primary where application users will connect and they will perform both read and write operations, and where your application will start. That is your original database. Primary is nothing but original database. Secondary is nothing but warm standby server. Warm standby server. Okay, if something happened to primary, you can bring the secondary to online for a span of some time. Once again your primary is back, again you need to switch back your connections to the primary back, sir. Always. So if these are the two servers, always your A1 server, B1, B2 server. Okay. So always application user will tell this is my primary. Always. If something happened, okay, you can make it here for span of some time. So once it is back, again you need to move the connections to here. So this is your destination server. This is your source server. Clear? Not clear, sir. And monitor server is a optional server, sir, in log shipping. Okay, means uh, way, sir. In log shipping, we never use monitor server. Okay, because you need to purchase one more server only for monitoring. Only for monitoring, you are going to use one additional server. Instead of that, in log shipping, there is one job called alert job. Whatever your monitoring server is doing, same job your alert job is doing. Same job your alert job will do, sir. So instead of you configure one server and you use that only for monitoring. So you just configure a job, alert job, that will start monitoring your log shipping. Which is the best, sir? Online people. Job, right? So you are saving some budget to your application team. So no need to configure monitor jobs or in log shipping. No use. But in coming, like a mirroring, always on, definitely there should be monitor job. That is helping lot. That is helping lot, sir. But here nothing. Here just it is monitoring. That same job you can same work whatever the server is doing. So this job will do the same activity, sir. Okay. See here Microsoft is telling. So an optional instance of SQL Server that track all the details of the log shipping whenever the transaction log primary, okay, if backup fails, so monitor server will monitor. So when if copy and restore is failing, so your monitor job is monitoring all this kind of same thing. I can configure alerts, sir, instead of configuring one server. And and make a note, once the monitor server has been configured, it cannot be changed without removing the log shipping first. Means completely you need to remove the log shipping if you wanted to change the monitor server, or if you want to remove the monitor server. Hectic process again. So mostly log shipping are first of all, log shipping also we are not using mostly nowadays. Very rare case we are using log shipping, because it's the old technique without automatic failover. It's old techniques are without automatic, but it's very interesting concept. Okay, so everyone as a DBA we need to know about the log shipping, the behavior, and the how it is working. We mustn't should know. And also here the very important now is, so we already covered what is log shipping, sir. Transferring the transaction log backups from primary server, primary database to one or more secondary database on secondary instance. Got you, sir? Online people?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, that is the first. What are the major prerequisites? We explained. Two instance, two databases. It should be same collation, same databases names, two folders. Okay, always your database will be in full and bulk log recovery model, and always your secondary will be in restoring mode and standby mode. All this you need to taken care whenever you are going to configure, and how many instance you are going to participate in log shipping, how many databases are going to participate in log shipping. That is also one important, sir. And now, okay, whatever you told, sir, I agree, but how log shipping is working? Till now we not yet sure. Okay, you are telling taking the log backups, okay, log shipping work, but how? Means whenever you configure log shipping, four three jobs will be created, sir. One is optional job, whether you require you can configure, otherwise no need. So total four jobs, three jobs will be primary, one job is optional, sir. Four jobs will be created whenever you configure log shipping. What are the four jobs, sir? Backup job, copy job, restore job, alert job. So four jobs will be created whenever you configure log shipping. Whenever you configure log shipping, four jobs will be configured. These four jobs will do actual work, sir. Actual work will be done by these four jobs in log shipping. On primary instance, backup job will be created. On secondary instance, copy job and restore job will be created. On primary instance, backup job will be created. On secondary instance, copy job and restore job will be created. Okay, so what is the purpose of the backup job? Your backup job will take the transaction log backups and keep in the backup folder. Apart from nothing else it is doing, sir. Your backup job, what is the purpose of the backup job? it will connect to the primary database, and it will take the transaction log backup, and it will keep in the backup folder. It will keep in the backup folder. Okay, not okay?
Okay,
People?
Subbu.
Yeah. Now, what is the purpose of copy job, sir? Whenever the copy job triggers, it will copy the .trn file from the backup folder to the copy folder. Your copy job and restore job will be created on the secondary instance. So on secondary instance, it will be created. So what is the purpose of copy job? It will copy the a backup from the backup folder, the transaction log backup from the backup folder, and sorry, it will place in the copy folder. That is the purpose of your copy job. Whatever the pending backups that is not yet moved to this copy folder, whenever your copy job triggers, it will copy all the backup files from the backup folder to the copy folder. Then what is the restore job? So your restore job will restore all the pending transaction log backups which are available in the copy folder to the secondary instance. Manually not, automatically it is restoring. So backup job, it is to take the transaction log backups, place it in the backup folder. Copy job used to connect to the backup folder and copy the .trn file to this copy folder, and restore job will try to restore one by one .trn file automatically. And your alert job, what is alert job, sir? So whenever your backup job fail, alert job will triggers. Whenever copy job fail, your alert job will triggers. When restore job will fails, your alert job will triggers. So that is the purpose of alert job, sir. So instead of monitor server, you can configure alert job. Okay, not okay? Online people, how log shipping will working, sir? Using jobs. What are the jobs, sir? Backup job, copy job, restore job. Backup job will be created on the primary instance, copy job will be created on the secondary, and restore job is also created on the secondary. What is the purpose of backup job? Backup job will take the transaction log backup and place it in the network folder. Copy job will copy it from the network folder to the copy folder. Restore job will restore all the transaction log backups on the secondary instance, one by one. Clear? Not clear? So that is how the backups, that is how complete about your log shipping, sir. Base level log shipping, theoretical way. Any questions? Online people?
Yes, sir. Good.
Fine, sir.
Any questions still now? Everyone? Any questions, sir?
No, sir. We are clear.
Okay. Let me stop it, sir. Okay.